you.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Oh,
everybody.
the frost is on the pumpkin.
And
it's time to stuff your bird. Time to stuff your bird. Oh, haven't you heard that the frost is on the pumpkin? And it's time to stuff your bird. And that's all I got so far.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Comedy Centric, your place for all things comedy. Every week we'll discuss the legends and the people who built the business. The performers, writers, behind the scenes, and stories that you have never heard. So relax, take a load off, and join us for this episode of Comedy Centric. Now, the host of your show, nationally headlining comedian, a woman with a wicked sense of humor and a killer Jersey accent, Julia Scotti.
Hi-ho, boys and girls.
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho, I'm Julia Scotti, and this... Where is it? Nope, wrong one again. Wrong finger. This is...
Caldwell.
Whoa, wait a minute. You finally did it, didn't you? You gave the finger to so many people.
Someone screwed around and found out. I'll tell you that much.
What happened? Are you okay? You want me to come over?
Yes, I need a lot of homemade Italian food to feel better.
I'd be happy to do that for you.
Would you? I tripped. It was cat related, and Kathy went down, fell boom in the bathtub. Kathy go boom, and then I braced myself, and I heard it. I felt it go click, and I went. And I had to. I don't know if this happens to you when you have extreme trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was gonna like pass out, and so it's like I have to get back to the bed so I don't fall. So I rushed myself to the bed, and sure enough, started to pass out, ear ringing, the whole. It was fun. And then
that's the worst feeling in the world. Like you're gonna, because you can't. You know what it's like? You ever see those spy movies where they slip him a Mickey in his martini, right? And the guy's drinking, and he's trying not to. He's trying to hold on to get out of there before they kill him, right?
Right.
It's like that. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. And there was a martini there when I woke up.
And a dead spy.
Yeah. This is like 3:00 in the morning. Now you would think somebody would have heard a boom no.
You probably didn't make as big a boom as you thought you did. You're tiny.
Well,
I mean, if I fell, you'd hear the boom over where you live.
It comes up on the seismograph.
That's right. That's right. But it's like when the roadrunner runs off the cliff. I mean, when Coyote runs off the cliff, and he just falls, and then you just see the little cloud that does it.
That's me. That was me in my bathtub. Yeah. So anyway,
do you know what I was doing all day today?
What?
Elmer Fudd voice.
Why?
Oh, because I was watching this little clip, and they were doing the Flight of the Valkyrie. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So and I was doing Elmer Fudd, like, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit. That's what I was doing.
You know the crazy thing about you is nobody's going to know when you go senile.
No.
It's going to be like, yeah, that's just her.
No.
She's fine.
Yeah. You know what I did this weekend? Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon. Went to Teaneck, New Jersey, and
voluntarily.
Yeah. Oh. I was at the Teaneck International Film Festival with one Miss Susan Sandler, and they screened Julia Scotti Funny That Way, and then we did a panel afterwards. Yeah, it was very nice.
Susan is for anybody who. Julia Scotti Funny That Way is the documentary after Julia's life that the very talented, and I could go on, wonderful Susan Sandler wrote, directed, produced, did everything. And then so you guys do these things where you go around and you show the movie and you screen the movie, and then you do a Q&A on a panel.
Right. Sometimes really together, sometimes separate. But this one was together. It was pretty touching. In light of the fact that the night before had been this terrible shooting in Colorado, and so I mean I don't know when people see this, it's probably not going to. I have to reference it. That's when we're taping this,
right?
And it was very. They wanted me to do stand up originally, and I just couldn't do it. I just I just couldn't.
It took you right back to Pulse nightclub. Whenever
Pulse in Florida and
Yeah.
Newtown. I mean, it just never ends.
I know. Boy, they were really brave. I mean, have you
Those two
read
guys,
the stories? And they even said the guy that pulled the attacker down in the queue in the Colorado. He said the one guy was getting tired of stomping on him. So there was a drag queen that was performing, and he goes, "Come over here and start stomping on him." And so
she used their high heel on him, which was I loved.
And you hate to love anything about it, but it's like, you know what, you son of a bitch, how dare you? And
it's like it was like Stonewall. I mean, the same thing. It was the drag queens, and God bless them.
So here's what I think, and again, not to make light, but what we need is a drag queen in every school.
That's right. It would certainly make it fabulous. It would be great. Anyway, we got a great show. I've been looking forward to this show for quite some time because Tommy Bowes is not an old, he's a few years old friend.
We're deviating off of topic a little bit, because it's usually
we're kind of I've been long-winded this today, as opposed to.
No, but I'm saying usually we talk about comedians, but this person is falls in a completely different category.
Yes, he's a singer, but our mission statement, if you go back and watch the very first show, we talked about how we would do some music and singing, blah 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 blah, and actually Tommy qualifies because he recorded our Thanksgiving song.
Oh wow!
Stuff Your Bird.
Okay.
So technically, he's crossed into the realm of comedy, but
I love that.
Yeah, Tommy. I'm gonna give you a little bit of background on before we bring him up. He's Tommy Bowes. He's most noted for being the lead singer of one of my favorite groups, Tower of Power. It's the masterpiece funk band. I mean, it's just the best. Oh God, he's great. So, and we met. I was at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and he came up to me after the show, and we just hit it off. As soon as I found out about Tower of Power, I went, "I want to talk to you. I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend."
Did he call the police?
No, he didn't. Actually, he said, "I want to be your friend too." And so it was the start of a beautiful friendship. So we're going to take a break, and as soon as we come back,
take a break.
I see what you did there. Yeah. That's why you're in radio, and I'm a successful comic. Oh, did she do that? No, I did not. Hey,
go ahead to break, Julia.
Serves you right. We'll be right back.
We got a spare.
Hi there, everybody. It's me, Julia. Hey, why am I talking to you now? Now, of all times? Because I just my new special on Dry Bar Comedy channel is just been released. It's called Julia Scotti Jersey Fresh, because that's what I am. I slap myself. That's how fresh I am. So you have to subscribe though to get the Dry Bar, and if you do, you get access to thousands of other comics, but see my special first, Jersey Fresh. And if you enter my name, Julia Scotti, it's my understanding that you will get a free month of Dry Bar. So go. What are you waiting for? All right. Thank you. We're back. And we're at my front and your front and your finger. So we were talking about Tommy Bowes before the show. What the hell am I talking about? We were talking about before the break. I'm not used to having breaks. You, on the other hand, are
I'm good at it. Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, I put stupid crap up on Facebook all the time.
I've heard.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, he took this stupid thing I put, like a stupid Thanksgiving song that I made up, and he put it to music, and it's called Stuff Your Bird, and he animated it too. So every Thanksgiving I drag it out, and I thought it would be perfect for the show tonight, since he's our guest. So before we bring him on, will give you some. It's him singing, by the way. He's not Irish, but you ready, Jimmy? You got it.
That's how good he is.
I know.
Oh, the frost is on the pumpkin, and it's time to stuff your bird. Time to stuff your bird. Oh, haven't you heard that the frost is on the pumpkin, and it's time to stuff your bird? And that's all I got so far. Oh, the family's gonna fight on the turkey day, and the cops will come and take Uncle Joe away, because he drinks too much, except he doesn't know it. He thinks he's lots of fun, I hope he does not blow it. Oh, it's time to stuff your bird. Yes, it's time to stuff your bird. It's gonna rain like hell, but you can still stuff your bird. And nobody's gonna show up, cause the weather is so bad, and they can't get a flight. But don't get mad, and you're going to have a 30-pound turkey sitting around for a week or two. And Macy's will be able to put the balloons in the air, cause it's gonna blow so hard that they'll get right in your hair. Oh, I know it doesn't rhyme well, but I don't care. Go stuff your bird, damn it, I can't come up with a line for that. It was going so well.
The first time I've heard it with 3-part harmony. Is he here? Put him up.
That's
Tommy?
Genius.
Did you put 3-part harmony on this?
I did.
Originally or just recently?
No. That was how it was recorded. Yeah.
Oh my God. Tommy
Welcome,
Bose,
Tommy.
welcome.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, it wouldn't have happened without your remarkable talent for writing lyrics.
It was exceptional.
Well, it was.
And because
I would put it
of
on
that
par
song,
with. I would put it on par with Sting. Any of the
White Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Carol Bear,
Carol
whatever.
Bear Sager, sure.
I predict this is going to go. Nobody ever likes it when I put it back up on Facebook. We get like 3 likes, and I could listen to it over and over again.
I think it came out nicely. I may one of these days I may expand upon it and make a full production of it, and we'll see what we can do.
Now, you did the animation too?
No, I did not actually. The
I thought
animation
you
was
did.
done by a buddy of mine by the name of John Belzer, who's a talented singer, songwriter in his own right, and has he runs a nonprofit company that writes personalized songs for chronically and terminally ill children.
How nice.
Yes.
I mean, not that they're
No, but he
does that.
Yeah. It's and he's had a lot of participation from, myself, like some of Billy Joel's guys. I mean, he's had some celebrities come in and write songs for, so it's interesting. You fill out a questionnaire, and it has the child's name, and they fill out a questionnaire, and it's got all the like hobbies and favorite color
sweet.
And all personal information, and they give it to the songwriter, and they say, come up with a song.
That's so sweet.
So yeah.
Oh my God. I wish we could do that for comedy, but that, yeah.
We'd offend somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's gonna.
Timmy loves blue.
There used to be an old joke about the guy who wanted a singing telegram, and it was bad news, when they. And he goes, but it's just, and the guy said, all right, well, here's this telegram. I'll sing it, It's just the Rose is dead. Broke her head,
What's that? Yeah, the cat died. No, the cat's up on the roof.
That's that joke that goes on for it. Well, let's we're alienating our 6 listeners, so let me explain who you are.
Okay.
Who are you? Okay, so Tommy Bose.
Well-oiled machine.
Oh,
no. My buddy Tommy Bose is a great singer. He's for years was the lead singer of Tower of Power. And if you don't know Tower of Power, get the hell out of my life, because you're meaningless to me. Tower of Power, the greatest funk band that ever roamed the face of the earth. But you've done so much more than that. I mean, but I want to talk about you. What did you do with Ray Charles? What did you do with Ray Charles?
Well, we did a tour. We did a few dates opening with when I was in Tower for Ray Charles, and that was a blast. And I actually at that point I didn't get a chance to meet Ray. I didn't get a chance to really meet Ray until I work with a band called Funk Philharmonic. We've been around. Right. We're actually celebrating our 37th year, and
playing every Monday. Where?
Well, no, we're playing. We're coming up on Long Island. We're going to be at the Warehouse on December 21st to celebrate our 37 years. Congrats. But that was the band I was with before Tower of Power, and they were doing a lot of Tower of Power, Earth, Wind, and Fire tunes, and that's how I kind of got the gig with Tower of Power, because I'd been in this band. And so we did a show in Göteborg, Sweden, and it was us and Ray Charles. And the culmination, which was great for me, the culmination of the show was, the finale was, we sang the theme song from The Lion King. So I was singing lead with Funk Philharmonic, 10-piece band behind me. And behind them was a 35-member choir and a 40-piece orchestra that Ray Charles used. So we were all together on the stage at the same time and and I was like, oh. And the Swedish Air Force buzzed the stage. It was an outdoor concert, so the Swedish Air Force buzzed the amphitheater.
Is that going through your mind at the time? I'm on stage and with
with Ray Charles.
Yeah.
It was it was difficult to concentrate.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know if you just kind of and what was he like? What was it like? What was he like?
I met him briefly, but he was very cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird thing because, like, his people, kind of don't want, they don't want everybody kind of, fawning all over and everything. So I was kind of like, I only had a few minutes now, and then I was kept at bay. But I got a chance to talk to him, and he was very nice. Which I've run into that situation quite a lot. I've met a lot of celebrities, whatever. And I find that most of the time the celebrities themselves are really cool. It's their crew that
well, it's like when you and I met. I mean, my security was like
tight as hell.
They tried to throw you in a garbage pail, and I said, no.
And I was mildly hurt by that, but
So I was reading, you've traveled a lot of places. I mean,
I have some frequent flyer miles.
Yeah. What was your, like, you were in Japan, Europe, Tokyo, Scandinavia, Germany. What was your favorite place that you?
I am very partial to Japan. I really like it over there. I like the people. I speak a bit of the language, so I can get around. And it's one of my favorite places. That, and I also love Amsterdam.
Oh, I love Amsterdam.
Everybody says that about Amsterdam. Yeah,
it's so laid back and cool, man.
Kathy's talked about it.
The people, the people are just chill. They're just really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
you're I want to go back to Tower of Power because it's just such a in my life it was an impactful band, being an ex-drummer and all. Just maybe the tightest band I've ever heard. It's just mind blowing. And how do you get from being a singer I don't know where you started. How did you start? Where did you start? Because you're not trained, right? You're not trained.
No. I actually started, which leads us back to Stuff Your Bird. I'm not completely Irish, but my mother's side of the family is Irish. My father's side is Native American, and I played a lot of Irish pubs in Boston because I'm from the Boston area. So I played a lot of Irish pubs in Boston in the early 70s. And so that's kind of where I got my start. My dad was a singer. So, I started singing with him when I was a little kid. He sang with Woody Herman's band. And
really?
Oh
my God. See, I didn't even know this about you.
And Alvino Ray. I don't know if you remember Alvino.
I know Alvino.
So Alvino had his own band.
He played the steel guitar, right?
And he was, exactly. And he was offered a recording contract when he got out of the military, he got out of the service after World War II, and he turned it down to go to law school. So he became an attorney. Yeah.
Or Albino, right? Oh, okay.
He became an attorney.
Okay.
Because in those days, the smart money was on being a lawyer, not a musician.
It still is.
It still is. So that's where I started in Massachusetts. And then I moved to New York, not for music. I moved to New York. I went to school for acting. I have an acting degree, and I moved to New York to get involved in the theater. And I became an accidental singer. So I was in what they call a cattle call on Broadway, where you have non-union and union actors.
Right.
And it's a way for non-union actors to get into the union,
Right.
try to land a part. And a woman that I was standing in line with, we were chatting, and she says, "Oh, I sing at this piano bar down in Chelsea called Chelsea Place." And she said, "You should fall by sometime." And I said, "Okay, fine." So I went by and I sat in, I sang a song with her. And then there was a guy playing opposite her. There were 2 acts a night. There was a guy playing opposite her, and I sat in and sang a song with him. And I wound up, long story short, I got a gig there with him, and I spent 6 years playing there with him. And along the line, people would come in and out. And I got heard by some people who were in the jingle industry in the early 80s, which was a big time to be in the jingle industry. So I started getting calls for jingles, and suddenly I was not auditioning for plays, or I was singing jingles.
But don't you have to sight sing when you do jingles?
Yeah, well, in those days you did, but I cheated. I remember my first big jingle date was for a guy by the name of Don Ciccone, who was one of the Four Seasons with Frankie Valli, and he had a studio in New Jersey called Broccoli Rob. Well, yeah. So I go out to the studio, and there's 6 singers on the gig. It's like a group thing. And I walk into the studio, and they're setting up 6 music stands. And I look, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm fired, and I've just got here and I'm fired. So they put the music stands out and put the sheet music out. And I said, I don't know if I belong here. I can't read. I'm Johnny and I can't read. So, Johnny can't read.
Oh, Johnny can't read.
I could have been a contender.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
I never would have hired.
I was deprived. Anyway, so I said, if you play the melody on the piano that I have to sing, I have a really quick memory and I'll learn it. So he played it. I sang it back to him, and I ended up singing the jingle. It worked out fine. And after that, he would call me, and if there were 6 singers, they'd put 5 music stands out and then play my part. And then I was able to get in and learn. If I hear something one time, I can pretty much nail it.
Good for you. I know I was friends with Joe Mack, who was a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew Joe, but Joe was he was Jim Croce's bass player. And
yes, yeah. I know who he is. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, I worked in a trio. He was one of the first electric bass players, and God bless him, he was gonna get me into studio work in the city, but I couldn't read, and it turned out okay. Mm-hmm. But I would have liked to have been a studio cat, because that's what studio musicians are called. I'm a studio cat.
Yeah. It was more. I mean, singers in those days read as well, but it was they could be more lenient with singers. The instrumentalists really had to read. I mean, you went in and went in sheet music,
unless you were Buddy Rich, who couldn't read, but he would have somebody play the charts, another drummer.
Yeah.
Record them, and then he would go take them home and practice them.
Yep.
And I don't know how he did it, but he remembered those really complex charts. But for a singer, I've seen singers get music and just look at it and be able to sight sing it. It's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen.
It's dots and lines to me. I don't, because I never never studied. And I play piano, and I play guitar, and I play bass.
I know, I've seen you.
And it was all done by ear. I did take piano lessons when I was in 2nd grade. I took piano lessons for about a month, and I got caught cheating, and the teacher gave me an ultimatum. So I would go to my piano lesson, and you'd get a new piece that you were going to play, and my teacher she'd play the piece for me. This is how it's supposed to sound. You're going to learn it, and she'd play through it. While she's playing it, she's not knowing. I'm listening, and I'm watching her hands. So I would go home, and I'd close the book, and I would play what I saw and what I heard. And then I'd go back, and I'd open up the book, and I'm pretending to read the sheet music, and I'm playing what she played. So one time she played me the newest piece, and she made a mistake, and even she didn't catch it. So I went home and I practiced it that way. So I come back and I play it, and I'm pretending to read the sheet music. I get to her mistake and I play what she played. And she's, oh, no, Tommy. No, okay, play that part again. That's wrong. Play that again. Read it right. What note is that? And I go to play it again. I play the same thing because that's what I heard. And then she says, no, what note is that? And I couldn't tell her. And of course, I'm in second grade, and I'm like, I don't know.
Johnny can't play either.
Johnny can't play. I can't read. God damn it. And so she called my father on the phone. These were nuns, by the way. I went to Catholic school. So
me too.
Sister Rosamond called my father on the phone and said, look, your son's got a really good talent, but he doesn't like to read and he doesn't like to practice. So you got to get him to read and practice. And my father said to me, look, do you want to take piano lessons or don't you? I said, no, I don't. He said, okay, you don't have to. So that was it. And the day after I quit taking piano lessons, I would sit at the piano in my house every day and turn the radio on and play along with the radio. And I just went from there on my own. And that was,
So, all right. So you pose a question, and it's something whenever I watch you sing, and you go to a group like Tower Power or Funk Philharmonic, and they've got these really incredibly complicated charts. I mean, and there's they're original tunes, so
right?
You have to you're learning something that you haven't heard on the radio. So how do you do that?
They gave me, at the time, the horn section was in New York, playing on, I can't remember whose record it was on. It wasn't Huey. It wasn't Huey. But anyway, They gave me a tape of live performance to learn a few songs for the audition. And so I went home and I listened to the tape. And like I said, if I hear a song one time, it's there, and it's not, obviously the vocal parts are not as complicated as the instrumental parts, the horn section and all that stuff. Wasn't really that difficult.
But it's a melody that you're not familiar with.
Yeah. I'm pretty quick, and I'm slowing down in my old age, but I'm still pretty quick. And so that's what I did. I learned, I think they had me learn 3 songs for the audition. I learned, well, at the time it was Believe It, A Little Knowledge, and what was the third one? I can't remember what the third one was, or maybe it was only those 2. And they had not yet, at that point, they hadn't been released yet. They hadn't, this was before Monster on a Leash, which is the first CD I did with them. And Emilio was singing those songs. Actually, he wasn't even singing Knowledge.
Emilio being one of the founders.
Emilio Castillo was him, and Doc Kupka were the founding members of the Tower.
He's a saxophone player.
Doc's baritone sax, Mimi's tenor sax.
Right.
And so they were playing them live, but they hadn't been on the record yet. So I listened to live recordings and then learned that, and then flew out, and
So all right, so you get a song. Let's say you're replacing a singer who's been singing, or you get a tape of somebody's version of it that you have to learn. Are you going to go into the audition doing exactly what that singer did, or are you going to go in doing Tommy Bo's version of the song?
No, in fact, when I got the tapes to learn the songs they were doing in that first tour, they gave me live recordings of them doing them, which meant Emilio was singing the songs. I never played an original recording of a Tower of Power tune in my house. I never listened to any of the original stuff. And or not for a long time. I have now, of course, but in the beginning, I didn't want to hear anything. I went off of what they were doing live. And so that's how I learned it. So one, because I didn't necessarily want to imitate the guy before me. I wanted to get the tune down, as close as I could to the way it was written, but I didn't want to, and to be, I couldn't imitate the guy before me. I obviously, I'm well aware that out of all the singers they've had, and they've had quite a few, my sound is much different than anyone else's. And it was a time in Tower's career where, it was a little departure from the old school Tower of Power.
In what way?
There was a little more, how would it, for lack of a term, jazz kind of in the, because when you had, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, or, it wasn't as like a lot of the early stuff was really kind of really down dirty funk. And so my era was more modernized. And it's very interesting too, because I realized very quickly that among Tower fans, there was no middle ground. To fans, either I was the greatest singer the Tower of Power ever had, or I shouldn't have even been in the band, and I sucked. There's like, there was no middle ground, which I understood because it's a band that's well established before I got in there. So I'm not expecting to,
that's got to be a hard position to be in. I remember my first Tower Power album was the one with the billiard balls on the cover. The one with "Ain't Nothing Stopping Us Now." Was that? Yeah,
it's not Hip Street. No, wait, no.
I wish I could remember that. Whatever. It was a great album, and I love that they did "Ain't Nothing Stopping Us Now" almost a cappella, and it's just I love that album to death. I just wore the grooves off of it, but I love the later stuff too. Like you did you come in the What Is Hip era when that song?
I came in. My first album with them was Monster on a Leash.
Okay,
I did Monster on a Leash and TOP.
Okay, so you did two of them with that.
I did two of them. Yeah, I did 2 CDs with them. Yep.
That's fantastic.
They at that point, when I got in the band, they didn't have a record deal.
Really?
They hadn't had a record deal in a while. Well, not in a long while, but Ellis Hall was before me as far as lead singer goes, and who I met Ellis. I knew Ellis from the Boston area. But they hadn't had an album in a few years, and they hadn't had a record deal. And that was when we got signed to Sony.
Okay.
And so then we were able to record Monster on a Leash and TOP.
I forgot my question.
Happens to the best of us.
Who are you people? It was there. It was right there. I could see it. And then somebody came along and he
almost had it. I almost
can't see it.
I can grip it. Did it come back yet?
No, I'm just grabbing it.
Butterflies.
It was really, really, really close. Okay. All right. So you are, for the most part now, you're freelancing with great bands like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and your own thing in the Village on Monday nights, which is, do you see yourself moving toward a mellower, as you're aging, a mellower Tommy Bowes? Because I know you could sing your ass off. You could do ballads and stuff. I've heard you do ballads.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I've always been partial to ballads. Even when I was younger, I loved. So my favorite in Tower, my personal favorite songs on the Tower albums that I did were the ballads that we had. I mean, I loved all the up-tempo stuff. It was great. It was funky, but nothing beats a good ballad.
Oh no, they did. They did some great ballads too. Yeah. As did Blood, Sweat, and Tears too.
Sure.
That must have been a gas to sing.
That was actually fun because, and it was a little less pressure because what you have to remember, when I joined Tower of Power, to be totally honest, at the time, I kind of barely knew who Tower of Power was because I wasn't listening to that.
Stop saying that.
I wasn't listening to that style of music. And in those days, which is why I'm so not a musician, I had a lot of songs growing up as a kid. There were a lot of songs that I liked and heard on the radio. But if you'd asked me who the artist was that played them, I couldn't tell you. So Very Hard to Go. I'll give you an example. The song's So Very Hard to Go by Tower of Power. One of my favorite songs
It's a great song.
But at the time, listening to it in 1972, whatever, I couldn't have told you who played it. So when I got the call from Tower of Power, I was kind of like, huh? Who, who?
There was no Google.
Yeah, right. And I talked to the drummer, Lee Finkelstein, in Funk Philharmonic, and I said, Lee, I just got a call from the manager of Tower of Power. Isn't that the band whose songs we play? Don't we play some of their tunes? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, they just called me to audition as lead singer. And he's like, I'm like, really? I mean, so I didn't know.
That might have worked in your favor, though. You weren't intimidated.
And I didn't know the tunes. So I had to learn all that. So there was some pressure. And especially because I basically auditioned on a Tuesday and my first gig was that Friday. So I kind of jumped right into.
How much rehearsal time did you get?
Wednesday and Thursday.
Holy shit. Wow. And you're out there singing every song practically. Yeah. They don't do I mean, Emilio doesn't do.
Oh no, Mimi sings some of the songs. Yeah,
does he? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, still,
it was still yeah.
That's then rough.
With Blood, Sweat, and Tears, it was different. By the time I got into Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I was a big Blood, Sweat, and Tears fan as a kid, and so I already knew all the songs. So in BS&T, first of all, I already knew the guys in the band at that point. They were all friends of mine. I knew all the songs already. I knew the arrangements. And I said, look, as long as you guys are doing them like the record, I don't even need a rehearsal. I know this stuff. So I kind of was able to walk in and it was less stressful.
Well, they had to find your keys though. You didn't know.
No, I did everything I do. Whenever I do a gig,
original
no
keys,
I do the record keys, whatever it is. Yeah.
That's pretty
even
amazing.
Like, I've had Funk Philharmonic. One of the songs we used to do the song Once You Get Started by Shaka Khan.
Love that song.
Yeah. So the first time they wanted to do it, they said, okay, well, what key should we do it? And I said, well, what key does she do it on the record? And they told me, I said, do it in that key. So I do it in Shaka's key.
That's pretty amazing because she's got some screechers at the top there, man.
My speaking voice is a lot lower than my singing voice.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard you. Have you ever worked with Shaka Khan?
I have not. I met her once.
Yeah.
But I've never worked with her.
She's great. She's amazing. I was listening.
Have you met her?
I met her one time.
No, truly. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tommy.
No, I've never met her, but
because you're like, she's amazing. I thought
she is. I've loved her since Rufus, when she was with Rufus.
Yeah.
The original, the band she was with originally. That's a great album. That first album they put out. See, I lost track of music like after 1990. Nothing exists for me.
That's it.
That's it.
You feel like almost to me like a hesitant musician in a way, because you know what I'm saying. Like you're like music. I don't. Like is that always the path you wanted to go? I mean, I know you were when you were in second grade, the piano, but it's funny because you like.
Oh no, I actually I'm a very confused and have been a very confused person. I started out at Suffolk University for law in Boston, and I went through a year and a half at Suffolk University in the law program, and I wound up. They had an affiliation with Emerson College in Boston, which is like one of the foremost theater schools in the country, or at that time it was. And I had an elective, so I said, I'm going to take an acting course just for fun. And I took an acting course over there, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. I think I want to do this. So I left Suffolk and I started over again, and I got my acting degree at Emerson.
Okay.
So I was originally going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
That was the original plan.
All right. And then
theater came along, and I was going to pursue that.
Right.
And I guess I've always kind of been that way where I found my direction. I'm going this way. Yeah. But you know what? Here's a fork in the road. That way looks better. I'm going to go.
That's not an uncommon story, though. It is. It really isn't. I mean,
So from theater, was it a musical that you found out you were going? Like that was that?
Well, I'd done a lot of musical theater in high school and college, and that's the direction that I was going in. I was actually that audition where on Broadway, my one Broadway audition was for a musical called Rock and Roll the First 5,000 Years.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so that
I was there for all 5,000 of them.
She remembers the guy that auditioned for year 1.
Did he get the gig?
The guy named Gluck. That was
Gluck.
His name.
I remember Gluck.
Yeah,
My
Gluck.
God.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
He was.
Gluck was a swell
fellow. Time too well though. That was
he couldn't keep time.
Hell of a fire builder though.
And he was always late to gigs because he had those square wheels because they hadn't rounded off the corners.
He was using sundials, and you know how inaccurate those can be. Yeah, Gluck.
So I've always sort of gone where the wind takes me, sort of.
Well, all right. I'm thinking back to the stuff you burned, the harmony parts.
Yeah.
For me, I love harmony. I can't sing worth a tinker's damn. But when I'm in the car, and Kathy can attest to that, as well as anyone who's ever known me can attest to the fact that I can't sing. But I love harmony, and I try to sing harmony whenever I hear a song I like on the radio. Not having a formal musical education, how do you do that? Weren't expecting that question, were you?
Well, you threw me for a loop there.
That's why I am getting a Peabody Award.
You're the professional. That's why you're the professional. I know it.
No, but it's a serious question.
Well, no, this is where, I've said this often because people will come up to me and they will say, "Oh, I love your voice. Your voice that's a gift. Your voice is your gift." And my voice is not my gift. My voice is not my gift.
This is
my gift.
Your ears, okay. Gift. Yeah.
The ears, if you can't hear it, you can't sing it. Mm-hmm. So I'm lucky enough to have ears that, and I was always able to do this, where if a song is playing, I can always ad lib a harmony to it. And whether there's like a diminished chord or there's even when it gets kind of fine, complicated, I can hear those differences and I kind of instinctively know. So if I'll ad lib a harmony somewhere, like I've done gigs where I'll ad lib harmonies with somebody and afterwards they're like, how'd you know how did you harmonize with that? How'd you know I was going there? I said, well, and this comes with time. There are certain progressions in music where if the guy plays, like if you're in the key of C and you play the C chord and the G chord and you're going to end the song. It'll be C, G, C. So there are certain that they lead into the next progression. So I can hear if the note's played in a chord, he's probably going to go to this note or that change and kind of try to fall.
Yeah, I admire that skill because when I sing harmony in the car, I'm like a Gemini space capsule coming in, trying to re-enter the atmosphere, and I hit the clam and I bounce right back off into space, and I never to be heard from again. There are the notes I come out with don't exist. That's it. Just yeah. I love harmony, and
I listened to a lot of one of my favorite. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, as listening to all of that harmony was just some of the best, and that stuff is ingrained.
Beach Boys too had that.
Beach Boys too. All that stuff is ingrained in my head. I was a big harmony fanatic. I'll tell you what. One of the best. Many years ago, my wife took me to a concert. I was a big fan of the Bulgarian Women's Choir. And you want to hear some ridiculous, if you're blown away by harmony vocals, these women will blow your mind. So they sing Bulgarian folk songs, but they're like a 50 or 60 piece choir. And it's all these Eastern European changes that just,
oh my God, I love
it's heavy shit, man. It's heavy shit.
Yeah.
And my wife took me to, I had a record of theirs, and my wife took me to see them live once, and the whole show was phenomenal. And at the end of the show, the choir leader, whatever, they said, we're going to close the evening with an American song for you. Fantastic. So they start singing this piece, and it took me 10 seconds because it was so like they were singing "Oh Susanna." They closed with "Oh Susanna," and it was the most amazing rendition of "Oh Susanna" I had ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Did you check out Pink Martini yet?
I have not yet. I'm sorry, I have not. I got to do that. Pink Martini. I got to do that.
I was listening to them today. Pink Martini is a band. Well, of course, it's a band, Julia. No, it's a truck stop on New Jersey Turnpike.
Some might think it's a Pink Martini.
It's a band, and I'm just getting to know them, but they do a lot of international and very 40s type music. I can't explain it exactly, but it's awesome. They are awesome. And they have these two girl singers. One is Storm Large is her name. And I just heard that she was on America's Got Talent this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was so surprised. She's like 53 years old when she got on the show, and she knocked it out of the park. But yeah, Pink Martini, check them out.
All right. I'll do that when we're done with this. I'm going to go check out Pink Martini.
Yeah. But all right. Okay. So now you're going to play something for us? You're going to do something for us tonight?
You want me to play something?
I told you that, you son of a
bitch.
Right, you got to play something.
All right.
I just happen to have my guitar here.
I can't move my camera, but I'm in my.
I happen to have a 12-piece orchestra in my living room.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my God.
Because this is Tommy, our Thanksgiving show. You know.
All right. Let's. I have to take off my stuff here. Hang on, because I can't play with things on.
He's taking things off.
I'm taking things off.
That's how I met him. That's how I got to know him. I said, Tom, we could just go for coffee. He goes, no.
Really?
No, I'm taking things off.
I didn't know you could.
What are you going to do? You did an original for me once. Do you remember that one that you did?
I don't remember which one it was.
Well, it was a pretty ballad, I remember. Well, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Oh, let's see. Can you hear the guitar okay?
Yeah. Jimmy, can you hear it okay, Jimmy?
I'm only hearing me.
Yeah,
can I hear you still? Oh, good. I still can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see if I remember this. Ain't nothing I can say. Nothing I can do. Feel so bad. Yeah. I feel so blue. Got to make it right for everyone concerned. Even if it's me, if it means it's me, that's getting burned. 'Cause I could never make you unhappy. No, couldn't do that, no. Only wish I didn't love you so. Makes it so very hard to go. So very hard to go. 'Cause I love you so. I forget the changes. Oh, no. Oh, where I'm playing. See, I'm playing right. It's terrible.
It's a great song. That's a Tower Power song.
Yes, that's Tower.
If you didn't know, it's a killer ballad.
I'm trying to remember what original one that I did for you. I did an original one for you. Let's see.
Well, while you're thinking, let's talk about your influence, Stevie Wonder influence on you, because I know you're a nut for Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
You like blind singers, don't you? Ray Charles?
Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. Yeah, sure. Ellis Hall. Yeah.
Stevie Wonder sings my favorite Christmas song.
Which is what?
Christmas Time to Me.
I don't know that.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's what Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, that's what Christmas means to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's great. That's a great song.
By the way, I have my speaker on here. My audio okay on you guys?
Yeah.
Fine. Everything.
I realized I forgot to turn the speaker off.
No. Where are you? Are you in your studio?
I'm in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio.
I wish I had a studio.
Well, you know.
Nice.
You could have your own studio if you.
Order right now.
Call this number now and have your own studio in the basement of your house. Never leave and have your friends stay away.
Do you find that you bring up a good point. Like I live in a development and I'm the only entertainer probably within 15-mile radius. And Kathy, you're in an artsy kind of town, but you're in the same situation. Do you feel like different in your neighborhood?
No. I mean, because
I would if you lived near me, I would invite you to every barbecue I ever had. Because
my neighbors, which is the way I like it. My neighbors just see me as just, I'm Tommy and I live down the block, the same way that, my kids, my children are very good. My daughter's friends and my son's friends, they'll say, oh, hey, your dad, Tower Power, your dad's such a rock star. And my kids are like, nah, he's just dad.
He's just dad. But
and that's
I'm saying, but don't you get lonely about having other creative people around?
Oh, no, because I'm always gigging and especially nowadays with all sorts of virtual stuff. I do a lot of stuff with bands, but I do a lot of stuff here.
You did the thing with Tower Power, the virtual thing during COVID, right? Where you did they had everything.
Yes, I sang that. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, cool. I did a few things. I did that one with Tower of Power. I did a Michael McDonald tune with another group that I did some Stevie stuff during COVID.
Where can our audience find those?
They're all on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Tommy Bowes. Yeah,
BOWES.
BOWES. Yeah. So, all that stuff during COVID, that was the other cool thing that, I do a lot of jingle work and I do a lot of voiceover work. And
still.
Yeah. And during COVID, it was very interesting because obviously all of the live work dried up. Nobody was going anywhere. But I wound up doing a whole ton of COVID-related PSAs,
Really?
Yes, our company is helping the COVID community, with whatever, So I got a lot of things for COVID PSAs because some of my clients are pharmaceutical companies, and so they, I was doing all sorts of that, and that stuff didn't dry up, which is what kind of kept me afloat during the pandemic, because I was still able to work virtually. I actually cut an album with a guy in France during the pandemic because he had me sing on some tracks, and he's in Paris, and so it opened up, and it also opened up for me. I've spent so many years in various studios over the years, but I'm always on this side of the microphone. I don't know how to engineer. I don't know how the board works. I never paid attention, and so I thought during the pandemic, well, since I can't do anything, I might as well try to record some of my own stuff, which I have yet to do. I've yet to release a solo album, and I'm a senior.
What song would be on that?
What's well, as you mentioned, let's see.
If you can remember the lyrics and the changes to the what you wrote, that would be nice.
Let's see. Let's see. So this song I wrote. This song is about. This is a song called "Home in the Country." I was brought up in Massachusetts, and I lived in a small farm town. The population was about 500 people.
Smallville, that's where you're from.
Smallville, yeah. Plimpton, yes.
Mom and Dad Kent.
That's right. I sent you the picture of my dad and the tractor, and that was our barn. So that's kind of where if the cattle rebelled in my town, they could easily take the people. And if the horses joined in, it would be an undoubted victory. Right?
Kathy had a horse.
Okay, so you tell me play this song for us.
So this song came about. My mom passed away in 2003, and so my dad decided that he wanted to sell the farm, and he moved to a mobile home park in Carver, which was near where I grew up. And so we were packing up and moving everything out, and it was the house I was born in, and it was a terrible time because my mom had passed. Like,
are you an only child?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay.
And moving out of the house and everything. So this song came about from from there, and it's called Home in the Country. So we'll see if I get through this. If I remember the chords, yeah, I can. Stand alone against this field side, facing to the wind. My back against a cluster of pine trees, waiting to begin. Well, this journey I had taken oh so far has brought me back to stand right where you are. Well, I've kept this place inside my mind through all the years I've left behind, trying to hold on so very hard to my home in the country, yeah. I still remember this little boy here digging in the field. With matchbox cars and stuff of dreams, the city was revealed. Then Mama called him inside just at noon, saying, "Wipe your feet, your dad will be home soon." Well, I see the lunchtime table set. Promise I will not forget the days I spent beneath the daylight moon, in my home in the country, yeah, yeah, yeah. A home in the country. Down in the hollow, a father and a son, counting the stars in the sky. He could hold everyone. Sit by the fire, listening to the night. When it was time for bed, Mama kissed his tired head in the country. Now I stand here by my car, saying my goodbyes. 40 years of memories passed before my eyes. Well, this house has always stood here small but strong, though it will stay, it's time that I moved on. As I take my last ride out of here, it's hard for me to stop the tears from running down my haggard face. My God, I truly love this place, and I don't want to leave this way. Don't know if I'll come back one day to watch the sunrise or the trees at dawn. Over the trees at dawn. And by home in the country, hey, yeah. Home in the country. Home in the country.
Wow. That's got you got to sell that to Ed Sheeran. That's got his kind of.
It is kind of that vibe, isn't it?
That's perfect for him. Man, what a great song.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
I mean, I want to go to the country, and I don't even
She
like
hates
the
country.
Oh, you'd be good with my wife. I've been trying to convince my wife to move back out to the sticks for years, and she grew up in the city, so she's
my kind of gal. I love your wife. She's great.
We would go visit my folks, and the first time I took my wife up, we were dating. The first time I took her up to visit my folks, we drive up and we rented a convertible. And it was in the summer, and it was nice. And so there's a street that you drive on just as you get to my house, and there's no street lights. I mean, this is in the boondocks, and the trees are overgrown and everything, so you can't see the stars in the sky. It's like totally black. And we got there at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, because we left early in the evening. And I pull the car over, and I had the top down. I pull the car over and I shut the engine off. And it's pitch black. And as soon as I shut the engine off, you hear every cricket and peeper and frog and everything. And it was louder than when the car was running. And my wife is looking around going, put the top up, put the top up, put the top up.
This Kathy is from the country. She's from Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh.
Western Pennsylvania, yeah.
But she goes to visit her parents' house and she sleeps in a tent.
Hey, come on. We used to make tents out of bedspreads when we were kids.
But they were in your bedroom.
Yeah, no. We would go outside and we would sleep in the cow pasture with the cows, and we'd take two sticks and a bed, like those white kind of bed covers. It's like a bedspread thing. Usually we would put them between two sticks and make like a pup tent, and we would sleep out in the cow pasture with the cows
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are.
It's fun.
Until my friend's sister, I woke with this nice. It was a white bed spread, and I wake up early in the morning and I look and I said, "Wow, it's awfully dark outside. It's still crowded." And I looked and I realized that the dark was moving, and my friend's older sister had taken a jar and she had gone to the side of the cows, and you press the side of the jar against the cow and get all the cow flies and close it up, press more. And she filled the jar up with cow flies and she let them go.
What the hell is wrong with you people? What the hell is wrong with you?
We know how to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
Tommy's my kind of guy. I like.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would like him. I knew that. Well, you are. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Oh no, thank you for having me. Listen. I love you dearly, and I'm very happy to. It's always a joy when I get to talk with you anytime.
Once you
and you, Kathy.
Yeah.
So
I want you to just tell me how great a comedian I am. That's all I want to hear.
Are. Listen,
stop.
Tommy, I'm sorry.
Tommy, you see this rib? You see this rib over here? It is cracked in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Cracked it laughing. Cracked right in half. It was done. I heard a snap and I couldn't breathe. So.
No, I honest to God, I love you. You know how much I love you. We got to do breakfast again soon.
I know.
Make her pay.
That's right. I owe you this time. You paid the last time. So.
Yeah, you don't owe me nothing. You're good.
All right, then you're good. Then you can pay again if you want. So
that's fine.
But you want to? I don't know if you remember Stuff Your Bird, but you want to close us out with a little Stuff Your Bird?
Oh wow! Let's see. Do I remember?
And we'll all sing along.
Okay.
Tommy, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Kathy, it was awfully nice to meet you. I'm so happy to have met you and spoken with you and everything. And you guys, both of you are neat, and I thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving,
everybody. The frost is on the pumpkin.
And
it's time to stuff your bird. Time to stuff your bird. Oh, haven't you heard that the frost is on the pumpkin? And it's time to stuff your bird. And that's all I got so far.
Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, the family's going to fight on the turkey day. And the cops will come and take Uncle Joe away because he drinks too much, except he doesn't know it. He thinks he's lots of fun. I hope he does not blow it. Oh, it's time to stuff your bird. Yes, it's time to stuff your bird. It's gonna rain like hell, but you can still stuff your bird. And nobody's gonna show up because the weather is so bad and they can't get a flight. But don't get mad, and you're going to have a 30-pound turkey sitting around for a week or two. And Macy's won't be able to put the balloons in the air because it's going to blow so hard that they'll get right in your hair. Oh, I know it doesn't rhyme well, but I don't care.
Wow.
Stuff your bird, damn it, I can't come up with a line for that. And it was going so well.
I got thrown out halfway through this song. Listen to my singing.
I wondered where you went.
Hey, it's just I got thrown out. Thank you all, and happy Thanksgiving, Kath. Happy Thanksgiving, Tommy.
Happy Thanksgiving, Julia and Kathy. Thank you. I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, gang. Take care.